Right. So we are going to be working on animal eyes today as a kind of, mostly because I think it'll be really fun and satisfying. And also, it's a nice way to leap into, I think, the dog that we're going to paint next week. Um, and the first thing that I'm doing here is cleaning off my palette. So I have what I like to call my blankie, which is really just paper towel. Um, I have dipped it in water so it's wet, and this is left over from the watercolor class I taught on Tuesday. So I kind of left all those pieces. So I'm just, yeah, taking this moment, like Lenon said, and I want to get this on record. Just notice how cute Lenon's hair is. That's like very cute. Hi, Disha. I'm really hoping Sandra will join us. It might be too late for her. Sandra Mahler. She's been taking classes um, she's worked for Reuters for like 42, 43 years in Washington, D.C. She's from France originally, moved to the U.S. when she was kind of late teen. Um, Went to London for a while with Reuters, then came back to the U.S. She's an extraordinary watercolor painter, and just a great person altogether. But she moved from DC to Spain, and she's adjusting to this new time zone. So hopefully we will see her soon. All right, so I've cleaned this up, my palette up. I have my brushes. I've got a whole collection of brushes. I'm probably going to start off. I very often favor a brush that looks like this. It's a flat brush, but you might not. And I notice a lot of people like to use a brush like this. So what we want to avoid until we're getting to smaller details is like a teeny tiny brush like that. See the difference? We want to go to these brushes automatically because we think we have more control, but they don't do the coverage that we do. So get yourself a kind of biggish, not biggish. This is like a half inch, maybe 8 centimeters, sorry, millimeters. But don't start with this brush. We're going to get into that later. And of course, and MC, do you want to like send a picture of the book that you picked up? Because I think this is an excellent book for people to try. MC picked up a great book on drawing animals, and I would highly encourage you to do it because drawing, of course, itself is a whole thing. She'll set it across the thread. And also any drawings you like. I would love to see the drawings that have come from that. It really talks about these sort of step-by-step books on how to draw, really help you kind of break down the process. Um, so I have a series of very small pieces of paper. Got a whole collection of them here. I'm going to recommend you cut your paper into pieces, small pieces like this, because I want you to be able to kind of control. I want you not to, when things get too big, we're going to draw a big eye, but I want you not to have to draw something that's like, I don't know, 20 by 30 centimeters or no, yes, 20 by 30. Yeah, I can't remember what the translation from 8.5 by 11 is. Is it 20 by 30? Yeah, it's probably like 20 by or 19 by something or other. I don't want you to have to work a full piece of paper. So cut a paper into your watercolor paper into fours. And then I am going to start by drawing the eye using a pencil. Um, and I'm really going to make it pretty big. I'm doing that partly. No, notice I just drew a line and erased it. I tried to kind of rush into my so I erased this line. I tried to draw this bottom curved line and it kind of went a little bit wonky and out of control. So a good way to handle curved lines is actually in pieces like this. See how I've do what I say, not what I do. Or now you can do what I'm doing.
Hi guys.
Sandra!
Hi, I'm sorry I'm late.
Hi! Don't worry. I was just gushing about you with the
Oh,
ladies before we got there. I'm going to finish this sketch and then I'll have you guys do it and you all get ready. Um, this came from a book I really liked on painting watercolor animals. I didn't actually like how the author painted the animals themselves, but I really loved how she broke out sections of the animals.
what's the name of a book, Leo? Will you show it to us afterwards,
Yeah,
please?
I'll show it to you. I'll send it across.
Because I
I found it a little bit like I don't know if you'd like it um from a like technical. I think you're way to be honest with you, Sandra, I think you're way beyond her for technical skill. But I liked the concept, right? Of like being able to well, we're so obsessed with animal eyes and they're so beautiful, and why not start with that kind of practice? So this is a cat eye. I'm going to take a picture of it. I'm going to remove the spotlight.
I think one can learn things from everyone.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm
So
not meaning to
even if it's a
be, so
little
yeah,
thing.
yeah, I'll send it over to you. And MC also just sent over a book on drawing animals, which I think is also valuable. So here is my sketch. Oh, hi guys.
Oh, hi.
How do
Mrs.
they
Rabbit,
like Spain?
he's been such a brat. The other day, somebody was cleaning the window and he jumped out the window on the
Oh,
air conditioning and then inspected the rest of the house, the rest of the front of the house he had no access to, and now he's obsessed with it. So
well, he is your escape artist, if I
no, it was
remember.
Lion.
Oh, what a
No,
little rat.
now Lion is not escaping anymore. He is, he is. I didn't expect that. I thought that was home free, but no.
So France is wonderful.
This
Or
is Spain. I'm not in France.
sorry, Spain. I meant to say that. Spain is
Yes,
wonderful.
yes, it is actually pretty amazing. It's a completely different kind of life. I have a big house with a big garden, like gates around the property, a pool, which is freezing cold at the moment. Um, Uh, but the cats are okay, and I'm only an hour and a half away from my brother, so we see each other at least
Yay.
once a week. He spent the summer with me.
Oh
Uh,
my God. Wait, did he bring his cats too?
yes, he has four, right? Two young females and an older male and an older female, and the older ones hated mine.
Right.
They
They
slowly
do. That's what they do. They hate
the
younger. They hate
this old
intruders.
male lives with three females, and he saw suddenly three boys arriving. So he would venture down to steal their chicken, but hissed at them. Really didn't like them. And in 3 months, they never got to like each other. Lion tried really hard to make friends, but
They just wouldn't do it.
no, the old ones or
They
whatever.
just, you know, Muka doesn't really like my two younger boys. She never will. She's kind of like, I mean, they coexist, but
But your
they're
younger
always,
boys are much younger. I mean, Lion is 11.
yeah,
This guy is
that's true.
14. And then
That's
the
true.
older female, she's just grumpy with everyone. So, except you. So, so Rabbit had a few tussles with her.
Right. All right. And by the way, guys, when you get this, I'd like to see it, the drawing. So send it across the thread. And I'm gonna give you two options. If you happen to have masking fluid, which I do, this masking fluid is kind of this rubbery liquid that you can put on areas to block paint. You can use it. However, if you don't have masking fluid, I'm going to have you block out an area like this, and I want you to avoid painting it. So I'm going to put it in. It's like in two places. So if you don't have masking fluid, I'm going to use it just to show you how it works. MC and I were just saying before everybody got on that we're finding this time to be a really nice time for kind of ending the day in Europe on Friday. It's kind of a nice like time. Of course, for Lenon and Disha, you're in the middle of your day. So you're just gonna do it. You can. We're happy to have you here. All right. So when you think you've got it, and I'll show you, I'm actually gonna, here's my masking fluid. I'm gonna dip my brush in it, and then I'm gonna paint a little bit of masking fluid. It's kind of like a more rubbery version of whiteout. Does anybody remember whiteout? Remember back in the day when we needed whiteout? So I'm actually painting that in. Mine is like slightly greener than the white. You might be able to see it, you might not. But if you don't have it, don't worry. Just block out these two and you're going to leave them white. You're going to try and avoid. Because the key with watercolor, and you're going to really see this. That looks great, MC. Looks good. You know what I would do? Can I pop this up just for a second? I would say, yes, this is going to be important. Um, hang on just a second. Make this a little bit bigger. Because I'm seeing it in the finals painting. So do you see how this has a kind of wider, this is like this area is too thin. You're going to want it bigger. It's the bottom lid and it kind of pops up and you're going to want it this whole, and in fact, now that I look at it, nip it in here a little bit too, because this whole area is going to be dark as the kind of outline of the cat eye. So instead of it being light, it's going to be dark. And so you don't want it to be so much. So I would sort of nip this in, make that a little wider. That'll be the light lid. It's funny, it's really easy to do things like too big or too small, kind of depending on what we're paying attention to. Um, so it's just fascinating to me, like how our brain wants to do, our left brain wants to do the thing. Our right brain's like, that's just not what is needed here. Um, oh, Sandra, it's so nice to see you. I haven't seen
Oh,
Diana in about a month. So are you there? Have you bought the house or are you still
yes.
kind of
No, I've bought the house.
have you sold your house in DC?
Yeah, and I had to drastically reduce the price because the
Wow.
market was already beginning to fall before
Right.
the because there's
You got the heck out right
a lot of
before.
government workers in my area
Right.
and all the uncertainty, Um, but still, I managed to buy this house, and I'm very happy now.
That's
Except
so wonderful.
now I need to spend more money to do. I have to do some work here. Um,
Diana mentioned something about it being cold in the
y-
winter.
yes, only have 4 proper heaters, and I need 9. So,
Right.
so I have some really cold, including one. What am I looking for?
Yeah. Great. You're gonna want this, make your white spots bigger. Make them about twice the size, just to help negotiate. Oh, excellent. Wait a minute. Whose was that? Sorry. Disha. Sorry, MC. I thought I was looking at yours. So Disha, yes, you're gonna want to make your white spots like twice the
Bigger?
size here.
Okay.
Let me pop up there and just point them out to you. And perhaps, yes. So these you want to be twice the size if you don't have, particularly if you don't have masking fluid. And I think maybe cut this in a little bit because this entire area is going to be dark. It's the kind of cat outline, right? So you don't want, so make this a little bit bigger. This is going to be the dark outline out
Okay.
around that sort of Cleopatra outline around. It's not the white of the eye. It doesn't look like that with a cat. So cats have much more dramatic shading. So nice work. MC. Yeah. That looks great, MC. You might even make it a little bit smaller, this dark area, but you'll see when I sketch it in, you'll be able to see it. But not great. I would make the white spot on, I would make, can you still see this? I would make this a little bit bigger, that little section, the tear duct,
Mm-hmm.
and I would make this bigger.
Good.
hmm Nice work, everybody. Have you been able to paint much, Sandra?
I haven't painted at all.
Wow. So it's getting back in the
So that's
saddle.
why I'm also in a bit in a disarray here.
Yeah,
It's
that's fine.
my studio is the first room I set up, but I've been using it to study Japanese instead of painting. You know why? I love
Why?
painting in the morning and all
I
your
know
light
this is going to be
at
a
night.
shift. We
It's gonna
might be
be
able to figure something out. I'll
but I've got a
see.
better lighting already, and when I have better heating, I guess that will help. I remember the Europeans being kind of jealous of him because they could have a glass of wine, but now instead of coffee, because it was the evening. But now it doesn't appeal the wine, you know? I mean, they seem very
Uh,
civilized to be able to paint with a glass of wine. And they
that's
could do that
great.
because it was
And
5 p.m.
what is your so what's your shift now?
I'm not
The
working.
timing on your shift?
I'm on an unpaid leave.
Oh, okay. So when do you go back? Or are you going back?
I might not. I'll
Oh,
see. We'll
how
see.
exciting. How
Mm.
exciting. All kinds of news. Um, Very exciting. All right. So one of the things we're really going to learn in this lesson is layering to get dark. So our first layers, I'm going to quickly show you what this looks like at the end. Here, hold on. Stop this here. I want you to see where we're headed with this. We're headed to this. So does everybody see that little light spot here, that light area here, these little triangles? I'll send this across just so you can kind of see the general direction that we're going. Um, it'll help you, I think. Here, hold on. Spotlight, do this. Oh, I'm going to send a picture. Well, do you notice anything different here, Sandra?
Yes, you're in a different
Because
place.
I am in a new studio.
It's completely white
Fantastic.
and beautiful.
It's pretty amazing. I'm still a little bit like, I can't believe this happened to me. I can't believe I got this. I mean, it's expensive, but it's absolutely worth every penny.
Oh, we got a cat in the palette. Well, come on, move.
Right. Cats in the palette.
Wait, Leah, where are you based again?
Well,
I'm based in
in
Portland,
Spain.
Oregon.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, Sandra is in Spain.
Amazing. Very envious.
Yeah. I'm in Portland, Oregon, inventor of the passive aggressive friendly protest movement. I'm very proud of my people.
from the West Coast, but never been to Portland. I'd love to go.
Oh yeah, it's actually a strangely lovely little place. And as I said, when I should probably not talk politics. Oh, wait until I turn the video off, and then I'll tell you the very funny Christy Nome story. Um, but it's a nice place. It's small. It's not. Where are you from in the West Coast? California?
I'm from the Bay Area, but
Yeah.
yeah, but I love a town with good coffee and fun
It is
vibes.
a town with good coffee and great whiskey and great
Mm,
food and an
yeah.
incredible wine scene. Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, it's incredible.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a place which isn't as like go, go, go. Like it's really a place where people like to follow their hobbies and do things. So salaries tend to be lower here on everything, but people tend to spend more time uh like making stuff in their garage or brewing their own kombucha or distilling their own whiskey or building things out of recycled materials or hiking it. It's a really it's different. I grew up in Seattle and didn't really spend any time in Portland until I moved here 15 years ago, and it's a huge difference from Seattle. It's funny. All right. Is everybody feeling ready to start doing some mixing? So we can do mixing. What I want us to do is do a little mixing and testing. You can either do it up here or down here, or you can actually have a separate piece of paper. Um, I'm going to take my square, my square brush, and I'm going to start with what I think is going to be ultimately be the dark area, but is going to turn out gray. It's going to start with gray. And I'm mixing ultramarine blue and burnt umber. If you don't, I'm playing around. Let's see. Do I get what I want here? Yeah, I like that. I want a gray. So I'm going to put the two colors separately. So that's ultramarine blue, which is kind of a warm blue. This is by the way, ladies, I was also thinking that because we've had so many fits and starts with this class that I probably will bring it into the first 2 weeks of January if you're able to come. So we will keep meeting till the end of January to make sure we all get our things. Now, if you don't have these colors, you might try ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. You might try green. Is that my ready? Yes. You might try green and a little red. This is another way to make gray. It's kind of a greenish looking gray, so I'm going to add more red. I need a lot more green. It's a little bit better. It's still a little bit more bluey. This is a kind of, that's still a little too green for my taste. I'm not going to get fussy about it. I want these, this is kind of a warm gray because these two are warm colors. Ultramarine blue. This is ultramarine blue. So test it before you put anything down here. Test it here and send me your tests. So you remember, I'm kind of mixing, I'm working off the rule of complements. So in this particular case, I'm mixing blue. The complement is orange. I consider both burnt sienna and burnt umber kind of variations on orange. They can also be variations on red, which is awesome, but perhaps confusing. I'll do one with burnt sienna because some of you might have that. Oh, that's pretty. This is a gray with burnt sienna. That would also be acceptable. If you don't have any of these colors, let me know. We'll talk about what colors you have and how to mix. So this is all blue and that's burnt sienna. Look at the difference between these two. Yeah. Ooh, those are nice, Tisha. What did you mix them with?
I did ultramarine, blue, and burnt umber.
It's such a beautiful, and is that burnt sienna, MC? Or is that burnt umber?
Yeah, that's sienna, I think. Burnt
Yeah,
sienna. Yeah.
both of them absolutely beautiful. Doesn't it make this sort of beautiful, soft, warm gray? Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Um, our first layer here, although as you can see, we're going to get really dark with these pieces, except for these two light areas, which we're going to try and avoid, is to go a kind of lightish gray, which we're going to build up over time. Because the problem with watercolor is it's easy to go too dark. So you want to kind of start with lighter layers. I am not primarily a watercolorist. I'm primarily an acrylic and oil painter. In that case, you go very dark, let the layers dry, and put lights on top. But with watercolor, you can't do that. If you go too dark, you lose, right? You lose things. So our goal here, who am I waiting on? Anybody else? Okay. So now once I have my gray, I'm going to use my burnt umber. I'm going to actually paint it in sort of, and I'm mixing a little bit more. And I want you to notice how light it is. And I'm actually using the corner of my brush like this, which is one of the nice things about flats, to paint around, but not on my white area. So I'm going to do that here. And then I'm going to do that here. And actually, I'm going to bring it all the way in. So I'm cutting off my iris a little bit, flattening a little bit on the bottom. We are working wet on dry right now because I want us to have a little bit more control. So that is your first step. Oh yeah, and we can get this, we can kind of layer this in as well. So if you are painting, and this is kind of the level of darkness you want on this layer. Yeah, Sandra, before I forget, I'm gonna. It's a neat book. It has some neat things in it. Tell me. It's called
No,
No
that thing. What?
Excuses.
It's called what?
No Excuses, Watercolor Animals, a field guide to painting.
Oh, I don't know
She
it.
has some, she has some neat things. She has some really neat things. She does some funky stuff with mixed media. I was thinking this might be a fun thing for us to eventually try. I'm going to bring us to a dog next week that's a little bit darker, so a little bit, I think, easier to manage. But really, this exercise on eyes is what really blew my mind. I'm like, this is great. This is what people want. Um,
Oh,
and
sorry,
it's
Sarah. Just saw your message. I couldn't get rid of this electrician.
no worries. Next time, maybe after.
Yes, afterwards.
Yeah.
Do you did you send VI?
I did send the
Okay.
eye
I was looking
and
at the dragon's eye, but it looks completely different.
it does. So
So
we're
it's
working
round like
with
that.
her shape. We're working with her shapes and her, but pop that up for a second, Sandra, just so you can see. Although the shapes are different, hold on. Look at how there is no white around Dragon's Eye.
And
It's
like the frogs.
really just that beautiful dark rim around these stunning. Yeah. Oh, little boot. Look at his little. I want to give him a boop on the nose.
He's sitting right there. He got very beautiful eyes.
He does. So yeah, this shape is a little different. I'm going with what she's doing
Okay.
because I like the construction. And I also feel like I like kind of moving outside what I would normally do.
Oh, okay.
So just to see, you know what I mean? I think it's helpful.
I'm trying to catch up, so I'll just do his because I've
Yes,
got it
do
right in
his.
front of me.
Do his. All right, let's take a look here. So, mhm. Oh, Lennon, beautiful. Lovely grays. Lovely grays, lady. Absolutely beautiful, lovely grays. I love these. So now you're gonna paint this kind of outside area. It's all gonna be dark, right? And we're gonna start, we're gonna do more testing on the iris itself. I want you to test a couple of your yellows kind of on the canvas on your paper here. This is a lemon yellow, kind of a cool yellow. And this is a warm yellow. My feeling, and then I want you to lay, if you've got a green, just a touch of green over it, just to see how that green looks in that yellow. A little bit like this. Everything's still wet. If you don't have green, you might try blue, but I bet somebody has some kind of green in there.
Wait, Leah. In
Huh.
pencil, you know, like you have H and B. What is F?
What is what?
F.
F in.
In pencils, you know, like you have H and B.
Oh, fine. It's like sharp. It's like a fine, sharp, like it's like
Like an H.
fine. Yeah. Yeah. So it'll give you a very fine, it's a very hard line to erase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I want.
Yeah. Good job. Good job. And like, yeah, it's fine. It's uh there's two ways they go like I think it's always F. I think there's another one they do
I
too.
love B pencils and I put them everywhere and they're great to write with, but they're not great for drawing.
They're a little too leady.
They're hard to erase, yeah. They are.
Right. So I'm going to take this cool yellow and I am going to put it here. Once again, kind of carefully working around. White. I mean, I don't actually have to be that careful because I've got masking fluid on, and I'll just show you how cool it looks at the end, but I will be careful to kind of demonstrate how you guys would do that. And then in a minute, maybe pull in a little bit of green. You can wait till it dries. And you want to leave a little light edge here, and you want to leave it light at the bottom. That's key. So kind of, and that's because of how shadows work with the eye, both the human and the animal eye. Everything's a little bit darker up here and around the bottom and edge of the eye, it's lighter. So I'm bringing in some green, but I'm trying to leave a little bit of light. I might go back in with more green. I might mix some red with my green on my top layers. But for now, this is good. Oh yeah, and then if you've got like, now you can move to a, thinner brush if you want to. If you've got like, I like to mix for the pink. This is quinacridone red. It's very pink, kind of hot pink. And I like to mix it with burnt umber to get a kind of softer. So this is a kind of cool warm. So if you don't have quinacridone, something that's kind of more pinky than orangey. And then I like to test it so it has a slightly, I don't have any of the colors she's talking about. So I'm having to kind of generate from my palette what we've got. And to me, quinacridone red and it's very light. You can see, so it looks kind of pinky, kind of brownish. And that's so to make it light, I'm always testing first, dipping in water. And then I'm going to put that down, that kind of pinky tone, very light. Down here. That's going to be, that's kind of the upper lid line. It's on a human and cats, it sticks out and catches the light. What happens is the eyelashes and the upper lid will really shade the top of this, so everything is much darker at the top, and it gets lighter as you come to the bottom as the eye turns around and moves away from the blocking of the sun. So look at how light these are. It feels kind of nice, right? Just to like practice this. And I'll be right back, guys. Give me a second. How's it going? No rush on this. Everybody's been running all day or in the middle of their day, so no rush. Just send it across when you've got it. It's good to kind of also let things dry in between. In the meantime, I'm going to remove the spotlight for just a second. Whoops. I remove my whole Zoom for just a second. I'm going to take a picture of this book just to send it to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, it's fun. Yeah, there's always something that somebody is doing. I'm really learning this over time. Uh, okay, so can you wipe it out with a little bit of water? Can you dab it with a little bit of water on your
Yeah,
paper towel? And
Yeah.
then you're just going to get darker. So just mark that out and be more careful. Right. On the
Okay.
next layers, be more careful. Also, I'm going to show you the magic of masking fluid. Nice, guys. That looks great. And you're going to see, you might want to pick some up after you look at this. But of course, no big deal. We're still fairly light, so nothing is kind of unsalvageable at this point. Let's see. We can just go darker. Oh, lovely, MC. Great. Don't forget to get your tear duct there on the right. Sorry, on the left. Get that gray as well. That whole thing. So, un momento. I finally brought a third camera stand, which looks at things, sits on the table and looks at things from the side. Here, I'll
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm very curious to introduce that and switch the uh, over here. That's also done. And I'm noticing here that she also took this kind of pinky color, this pinky brown color, and put it over here too. Light, but over here. Yikes. Okay, so that's what I would call too much paint. So I'm going to grab my blankie and I'm going to try not to scrub the paper. I'm just picking up the excess water and look at how I get it to a nicer, lighter kind of pinky brown. It's easy to kind of use what's really easy is to use too much water with watercolor. I know you think, come on, it's watercolor. But water you have to be judicious with. Sometimes you use more, sometimes you use less, but mostly you're kind of layering up. And so the water will kind of start with this balling up, kind of bubbling up. And that's when you can catch it. You can kind of pick it up without scrubbing too much. Because if you scrub too much, is that all lion?
This is the model sitting
Yes.
almost on top of a painting. Très bon. Ah, yes.
Wait a minute. What the heck? Yeah. Okay. It's just good to see the cats. Everybody is doing really well at my house.
Oh, that's
Bazoo, the former feral cat, is the fattest,
fantastic.
laziest, doesn't even want to go outside anymore. Like he's
I'm
just like
so happy that he completely changed his destiny by coming across you.
he did. He did. And Hermes is too, because now Hermes has somebody to play with and he's not
That's
bothered.
fantastic that they get
Yeah.
along as opposed to fight, you know.
Yes, exactly. And Muka she's slowing down. She's like
How
almost
old is she?
18. Almost 18.
Oh, wow, that's
So,
fantastic. Yeah,
she just sleeps on the couch all the time.
he's done
And
something great to get a cat to reach that age.
yes, right? She's a healthy
Yes,
cat. She's a
that's
healthy, happy
obvious.
cat. We're pretty sure she's got like she's not, we're pretty sure she might have some kind of mental like
I know
dementia
they
or
get some
something.
they get things like that, you know,
Yeah,
like
but
we do.
it's so hard to tell with a cat. It's like sometimes you're like, well, it's obvious she recognizes all of us, Rob and I, but she sometimes gets up and cries at night, like she's confused, like she doesn't know where she is.
Uh,
But in general, yeah, she's pretty content and satisfied. It's really fun. All right.
fantastic. That's all you can hope for.
Yeah. Does anybody want to see the next step or are we not there yet? We're slowing down. No need to rush. And if we finish this one, we'll do a different tripod. Maybe it go higher here. Oh my God, you little ham. Look at that. He's putting his little nose in our. Come here, buddy. Hi. 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 Oh my God, that's awesome. Um, and look, Sandra, we've got like all new people. MC's been taking classes about a year. Is that right, MC, or is it longer?
Yes,
I'm
MC,
thinking
I
about a
know.
year.
Yeah.
And Disha and Lenon are totally new and in the US and on the East Coast. So in the US. So in your old time zone. Um, and somehow managing to carve out an hour and a half or two out of the workday, the 24-hour workday. Get this going. When you get to the point where you're happy with this, and these should be fairly dry, we're going to get heavier and darker. So we're going to mix a gray, a dark that's much more, okay, so I don't know if you can see this. I'm using really heavy blue to go heavy dark. This is my absolute favorite dark. I don't actually own black paint. I like mixing it. This is burnt sienna and burnt, sorry, this is ultramarine blue and burnt umber. And it makes this beautiful, warm, rich dark that makes my, I don't know, it just makes my heart sing. I love it. It's a very rich, beautiful thing that makes a dark that looks like that. You can also mix, this is another nice dark. Oh, wait, I have to wash my plate again. You can mix Viridian Green and alizarin Crimson to make a dark. So here I'm using a lot more paint. That can make a really crisp, nice dark. Although, notice I'm going kind of back and forth between red and green. And kind of, it's hard to, let's see. Actually, that's pretty nice too. So this is Viridian Green. Show you the base. That's Viridian Green, which is kind of this wonderful neutral green that's great for mixing. And alizarin Crimson. Once again, alizarin Crimson is kind of a dark burgundy color. That's what that's made out of. This is good old trusty ultramarine blue and good old trusty burnt umber. These are all kind of following, and if you don't have those colors, you kind of look at them and assess your colors and see what's closest to that. These colors she's using, I have never heard of in my life. She's like, use Sodalite Genuine to darken the pupil.
Sodalite, yeah, it's a Daniel Smith color, and it's these controversial colors that supposedly are pure minerals, and it was
Really?
very expensive. I have it actually, and it
Do
was.
you use it?
sort of light. It's like it's very close to what is it called? That very dark navy blue. What is it called?
Like Prussian blue,
No, dark. No, almost black.
darker than that. Oh, interesting.
You know the one. What is it called? So I'm looking for the name as I'm talking to you. My brain is. You know the very, very dark blue that some people use as black?
Yes, it's that one. Yep.
It's very close.
Interesting.
It's a bit lighter than that.
Right.
I've got it here, Sunlight Genuine.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
see, look, I mean, look, that's, sorry, where's the camera? See that, can you see that blue?
There,
It's almost
I'm popping you up.
black.
Oh, yeah. Wait, why is that happening? Cancel. Here, I'm trying to pop you up. Hold that up for I'm going to hold that up for just a second. Okay.
You can
Yeah,
see it
I
so
see
well,
it.
do you?
Yep.
It's like,
Yep.
oh, what is that color I'm talking
Is it a
about?
little bit pinky
It
too?
seems to have a little bit of kind of almost purple in it, but what is that very dark? Oh, here, I'll be able to. It's almost
Shit,
like indigo.
sorry,
It's
Sandra,
almost
I
like
stopped your
indigo.
video accidentally.
Oh, sorry.
Start it
It's
again.
it's slightly. I can't undo it.
Is that possible? All right,
You
hang
cannot
on.
start your video because the host has disabled it.
Oh, I am sorry. How did I
That's
do
okay.
that? Oh, here we go. I just asked
Okay.
you. Sorry about that.
Okay. So it's slightly lighter than indigo. That's indigo is the name I was looking for.
Indigo. Okay, got it. Got it. Interesting. Because we don't have those colors and because I'm working with what I got here, and I love the practice of mixing. So I have my dark. I'm testing it here. I'm using a lot less water and I'm layering dark in and I'm kind of I'm using the corner. This is one of the reasons I like flat brushes. You can use the corner to kind of work around your light area. And I'm working wet on dry with not very much paint, sorry, not very much water, so that you don't have that bleed through issue. And then you'll take that out here as well.
Where was she saying to use the indigo and the pupil?
Here, where I'm doing this.
Sorry, I
The
can't
pupil and this, the Cleopatra dark markings.
Ah, yes.
I'm just using burnt umber and ultramarine blue. So really, because we're trying to go dark, this is still a little watery, so I'm actually tapping my brush to get the extra water off, bringing more paint in so it's not so watery. Tapping it here before I go in here. If you're feeling a little nervous about going around the edge of the iris, I like to start here at the edge where the light edge is and pull back. See that? So it's a kind of nice brush control, pull back. But I want to make sure everybody knows this. Totally okay to completely screw this up.
Yeah,
You
I'm
have
screwing it up, but it's fun.
complete permission to not get this exactly right. That is fine with me because this is tricky, right, Sandra? It's like a
It
tricky
is hard. I'm
business.
messing it up because when I'm doing an animal, I'm always annoyed that the eyes are not bigger than they are, But now
Yeah.
we're making a huge eye and it's too big.
Right.
I mean, it's harder to do because it's big.
And I see your little model is joining us again. And we're gonna get a little bit, I'm gonna go back to my skinny brush and get a little bit more. So some good news, Sandra. I
Mm-hmm.
believe Joyce is talking to me about doing a calendar next year.
Oh, cool.
Yes, for the 10 years that this class has been happening at Reuters. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
I
Yeah, I
know.
mean, for me, it's only like what, 5 years? 5 years?
5 years, but well, you were there really when it expanded. You know, the first lesson was with Janet Roberts. I don't know how many of you know Janet Roberts. She was my editor and is a good friend from decades ago when we both worked at a small newspaper in North Carolina um, in the 90s. And I'm just getting this kind of, I'm expanding this pinky area out a little bit under the lower eyelid. So this is that same mix. Anyway, yeah, these classes started 10 years ago with my friend Janet Roberts, who runs data journalism in New York. We started with one group of people. They were all on WebEx, I think, and they were all in, everybody was in, this is in the before time. So everybody was at work and they would keep art supplies in the office. And then once a week, I would teach an art class. Started with drawing, then moved to painting. And then we got involved with the former mental health head, Dean Yates, who did amazing things for Reuters. And Dean kind of saw the value of the art classes and really pushed for us to get more budget. So in 2020, so when 2020 came, I was kind of planning to do one class uh, per week. Uh, oh, hey, buddy. Oh, hello.
You can hear that, yeah? He doesn't
Here,
like
hold on.
tomato. He used to grumble at his little brother like this, but now he's like, after
Now he's grumbling at us.
after dealing with my brother's cats, he's like,
Everybody's looking fine, Sandra. They're all looking great. And by the way, you may want to also take a little red into your green to make a slightly darker green. I'm testing around. I kind of want my parts of my green iris to be darker. Yeah, that's nice. So I'm taking a little bit of cadmium red, a kind of orange red into my green. Not enough to make it look not green, but to mute it a little bit and make it a little bit darker. And I'm gonna now, once I've brushed, once again, this is a little tricky. You don't want to be too wet here. So, Disha, this is where you can kind of do a little correcting. You can work around your white spot with a darker, see how that's darker? And kind of recarve out your white spot there. I am also kind of leaving a lighter area around the kind of edge of the iris. And I'm leaving this light edge down here. That's really key. That's kind of how light reflects into the eye. So you do want things to be kind of ultimately this dark, kind of green to going back in with something that's a little bit more red in it. kind of push back the bright green. There we go. Wet on dry means we can control this a lot more. It's less likely to bleed out. In fact, I might have made this a little too dark, so I'm going to go get more blankie. And I'm gonna like even dab off in a couple areas, not everywhere, but just to kind of give it a slightly more modeled look, I think is the best way to think about this. My studio is next to a small girls volleyball shoe company that's
Oh, really?
exploding. Yeah, fascinating. I'm in this beautiful office building in downtown Portland, and there's three artists, but mostly it's, shoe designers, small shoe designers. Nike and Adidas are here. So what happens is Nike and Adidas kind of snap up everybody out of college, and then once they've worked at Nike and Adidas for 5 or 10 years, they want to do their own thing. So there's all these boutique, small, shoemakers. Yeah, and apparently,
Oh, cool.
yeah, yeah, it's a nice group, a nice building. I can see them peeking in that. Like I just moved up here, and they're like, "What is going on? What is happening?" Remember, absolute permission to screw this painting up. That is not a problem. I don't know what time we're at now. What time are we at? Okay. We've got like 40 minutes left. We might have time to do another eye, but we'll work. We're not done yet. Yeah, we're gonna paint a sheep's eye next if we have time.
Oh, these are very interesting.
Yeah, because they're so
The
wild.
vertical pupil.
Oh, that's looking beautiful.
Oh no, it's not. It's a horizontal pupil.
Yeah. So let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna pop up here. Okay, so Lenon, this red is way too dark. Um, can you see that? It's popping way too Disha, that
Yeah.
looks great.
Yeah, I was asking
So
earlier. I know that was a mistake. How do I fix it? Is it too
you
late?
may not be able to,
Mm-hmm.
but what you can try to do is get some water on your brush. So I'm gonna I'll try and do it on here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see if I can demonstrate. You can get some water on your brush, and that's okay. It's just you learn. You only learn by doing it. There's no way. So let's see. Can you see this? This is a fairly dark and dried section. So I'm actually just laying water right in there. See how I'm able to kind of spread it out, and then I'm kind of catching it up, dabbing with my so with water on the brush and then dabbing up to see if you can pick it up. Once it dries, it's and well anyway, it's all part of the process. I have done that more times than I can count.
It's okay. I have to make rookie mistakes to get better.
Exactly. There's no way around it. I have students that bend over backwards to make, particularly in drawing, it seems, to make these calculations on, because there's a little bit of guesswork that's always happening when you're working on you're working on something, you lay something out and then you're like, does that look right or do I need to fix it? And the people who are afraid of making mistakes, that is the classic kind of thing that they'll do. They'll like be like, how do I calculate and like, like figure it out. But really what we're developing is our visual eye, and it takes time. It really takes time because the things that we think are big are not, and the things we think are dark are not. And yeah, it's yeah, mistakes. You're just one mistake closer to greatness.
Well, part of taking art classes is to do something where I can make mistakes and it's not
Right,
it's
and
not a
nobody
horrible
dies, or
offense.
you don't have to issue a retraction. Exactly.
Yep.
It's not like we're surgeons or exactly. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I've learned over the years, and it took me a long time actually, is that I've so incorporated mistakes into my work that I was making mistakes on these demos and students weren't seeing them because I was making the mistake and correcting it so fast that I realized, oh, I have to stop and show people when I make a mistake now because it is an integral part of kind of problem solving. It's a little uncomfortable because you have to accept that, oh, I'm not going to necessarily get it right. And I do that with every painting now. I still do a lot of correcting between my first, my second, and my third layers. Um, yeah, we don't have many areas in our lives where there aren't repercussions, right? For being able to try and fail and then try again. Did that work for you at all, Lennon?
A little, but
Okay,
it'll be better next time.
excellent. Okay. So in this last section, she, the artist, has you work with pencil and pastel and watercolor, blah, blah, blah,
Oh, I see.
pencils. We're just going to work with paint. So there's kind of a tabby orange color, which you can see if you look at the final. So I'm going to mix yellow and a little bit of red, cadmium red. I'm mixing yellow and red to make a kind of orange color. And then I might bring a touch of blue in just to sort of knock that color a little bit more neutral. Do I like it? It's not so bad. You could also use burnt sienna and a touch of blue. And then you're going to kind of work around this edge with this ginger. It's a ginger kitty. And see how I'm really preserving that, like a fair amount of that heavy uh oh, there's something else we need to do, which I didn't do, and I'll show you in a second. Um, we want to preserve that heavy light area. So I'm just starting with that. And then I'm gonna go back in with my skinny brush, go back in with my dark, because I totally missed. Don't know how that happened. No blue. No blue. There we go. This dark little line here. So also across the top of the iris, there's a skinny dark. So I'm just going right over what I've already painted. Now, because I let this bleed in a little bit, look at how already just adding this like kind of bit of fur kind of pops out. And I think this is wet, and this was still a bit, this is wet. So I want you to notice something I did here, which is a little bit of a mistake, but I think I'll be able to pull out of it. I laid this color down, and I did not wait until it was dry before I started laying this color. So if you can look really close, you'll see I'm getting some bleed, right, of wet colors into wet. So if you want to wait until this dries before you start adding in that line, that's fine. And then you might want to take, does this with a pencil, but I think we can totally do it with a brush. This kind of fuzzy, little kind of textures. I've sent you the final, and I'm kind of not fussy about what happens here at this point. I want you to play around a little bit. I'm using my burnt sienna and a little bit of my actually pinky mix here. And I'm dragging in some darker color. Just to, and I could go even darker. And the last thing I think I want to get a little bit darker here, in here too. I'd even bring some dark blue in. The last thing I want to show you as we go through this is I want to show you how this masking fluid works. So I put this on at the beginning, and now I think once the painting is dry, you kind of, with your finger, it's like rubber. Look at that. So everywhere, so I kind of roll it off. Here, it's on my finger, like can you see those little scraps there? And so I will put a picture of this in the thread. I generally don't teach like this, but I do like it for things. I do want you to know how to use it. So it's easier in some ways. I can paint over that and not have to worry about it. Yeah, look, it's looking kind of nice. These little white spots with these little lighter areas, you might go in and darken things. You might play around with the fur a little bit. These dark shapes really convey that beautiful Cleopatra eye. Sandra's cats, you'll notice, are the iris takes up way more shape and it's more rounded. That's probably what you're doing, Sandra, because that's what your
Yes.
cat's eyes are doing. Perhaps that's what all cat's eyes are doing. But I wanted to follow her.
I think it depends on the photo, and the angle and so on.
Exactly.
And the cat.
So these light areas here, here, and here show a turning. So we need this darker area here because this is kind of the upper lid line, and it really is lighter because it picks up more light. This is kind of where the light's actually shining through. What happens is the light hits the eye, and then everything up here is darker. And then as you move down here, things get a little lighter. Excellent. Excellent, Disha. Good preservation and kind of fixing of that light. You managed to save it. I would say add a little bit of dark in here and pay attention to not doing things. So it looks like you kind of just outlined this, right? Like that. And I can see that in your brushwork. So try a couple of brush strokes on your next level where you push this out a little bit and you maybe go up instead of around. See that? Get you a little bit more uniform tendencies. Nice work. Are you feeling proud?
No, but we're getting there.
No. It's a really good first try. I like it. So the important shapes, light, keeping this whole big area light, keeping this area light, and keeping these two areas white. That's what really conveys the darkness. If you try to nip it in with too much dark other places, you lose the sense of perspective, of feeling things coming forward. You guys want to work a little bit longer on this, or do you want to try another eye? We have half an hour. Want it a little bit longer. If you want to, we can do this again too. Lenon, nice. And I see what you did there. Yeah, you definitely. So the only thing you need to do is there's two things. I think we should do it again. What do you guys think? You want to try it again? And I'll show you. There's a very nice save here. So, Lenon, I'm going to pull yours up because I like the work you did on it. And let's talk about the things that we can do. Let's do it again. So you have right. So you did as good a job as you could here. This should have maintained, this should all be light.
You're insane.
Can you see that? This, if I show you mine,
Yeah.
then I'll pop myself up on the add spotlight. I'll show, oh, I can't do that because I'm sharing. So you're missing.
Yeah.
No, I don't need to be
Mhm.
here.
I need a more
That light
yeah.
spot. You need a lot more space here for that light spot, and then you need to make that darker.
Okay.
See? So
Yep.
I would suggest let's do it again. Do it again. And I'll put up here, I'll even put up the drawing. I'm going to put this up step by step so you can see it. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. And I want to see you guys try it again. But I want to say really good, like good first efforts. Excellent. And whatever Sandra sends, I just want to warn you, don't be intimidated.
No, it's
She's
it's
an
so awful.
amazing
I'm also going to
one.
start again. It's so awful. I'm not even going to show it to you.
It's hard to, it's like rusty, right? It's like riding a bike.
Well,
Nice MC. I love this brushwork. I'm going to pop this up. I really love how you expressed the brushwork. See how she did this sort of darkers to convey? Very nice. So what I'd like to see, I think we should do it again. What I'd like to see, since we've got a little time, what I'd like to see you do is preserve more white here. or kind of pink here. If you look at the actual here, and I'll stop this. If you look at this guy, you'll see there's a lot more kind of light here. So we added this. We started with this, and then we added this. It came down even farther. So make that light area thicker here. Do it. Do it, ladies. Great work, though. I really like how everybody's starting to get their feeling with the brush. But just for the trip of it, look at the goat eye.
Yeah, this
Amazing.
is amazing, huh?
These amazing, they feel like such, it feels so old, right? Like an old, ancient biblical, pre-biblical
Yes, it looks.
eye. It has this sort of, oh my God. And this is a deer's eye, just for the fun of that from the side. I think these are really neat. Yeah, I liked these a lot. I found them super helpful. And we've got about half an hour left. So just paint away. Why this? Yeah. And Disha had to go. Yep, we figured, Disha. I thought so. And it's funny, this concept of light and dark is so key in conveying, and that shape is so key in conveying volume. The illusion of three dimension on a two-dimensional space. I always wonder if people watch these videos and get to this part of the video, they're just like, why are you
And
still
now what?
recording? But I want to like actually give people a sense of how long it takes to do something, right? So that's what it's like. This is the real class. Oh man, Sandra, I can't tell you how happy I am to hear that laugh. I'm really happy that you also have made this move. It sounds wonderful, just
Well,
wonderful, even though
it,
it's a lot. Um,
it was a,
yeah,
I took a lot of risk. I was flying by the seat of my pants, but I
yeah,
managed
but you
to land
did
on my
it.
feet. I managed to land on my feet, and
You
I
did
can't
it.
quite believe it myself.
I
And I'm
love it
not
when that
finished. I'm
happens.
almost there.
Yeah, of course, it's going to take time. It takes time.
No, but just
Um,
things, that you have to sort out.
right, right. It takes time. Do you miss your house, or are you just
No,
like,
strange. I don't
no?
miss anything.
I didn't
I'm
think so.
surprised. I thought you are completely insane. I was so stressed in Washington. I was waking up the other night thinking, you're jeopardizing everything you've worked for. You're leaving everything. And I thought, one day I'm just gonna be sitting there in Spain and I'm gonna take stock of what I did. And I'm just gonna burst into tears. And it never
Yeah.
happened. I'm just like,
No,
I did it
you're
with my
ready.
eyes wide open and I'm totally okay.
It helps to have a Diana in your corner. She's really
Yeah, she
great
was
at making those
fantastic.
kind of leaps.
She talked,
She's,
she talked to me almost every day when I was,
I
particularly
bet.
when I was so incredibly stressed.
Yeah,
Because I couldn't sell my house in Washington, but on top of that, I had a deadline here. Otherwise, I would have lost my down deposit.
right.
And I came like
And you came right through at
I
the
came
very
right
leading
to the
edge.
right to the edge of it.
That's fantastic.
So, so it was a stressful summer, but my brother was with me, which greatly helped. And then my stuff arrived, and I'm still.
Is your car there? Did you get your car over?
No, so I sold my car because it's a model that didn't exist here, and I thought
Oh, right.
the engine would have been okay because it was the same as another car. But I thought, what about if we need a piece of a body? I mean, how do we get
Right.
it? So I
Right.
sold my car, and I'm buying one here, and it hasn't arrived yet. So the dealership has actually loaned me a brand new Jeep, which is pretty cool. While my car arrives, well, the one
For
I'm
those who make the leap, there are plenty of people willing to help. It always
yeah.
feels scary. Do you
um,
know when I decided? So I was in this building, but sharing a space with an artist, one floor down. So I had half a space, and I was paying about $1,000 a month. And for a year, I was in that space, and that really taught the space is beautiful, but it wasn't mine. I had to share it with somebody else. And then after a year, she and I were like, we each think we need our own studio. Like I love like we're like quite good friends, but aesthetically very different in our style. And so she took over her whole space and took over the whole ranch, which is double. And then I moved upstairs and took over double the rent. And I remember thinking, oh my God, this will not, how am and everything came together to make it possible.
oh, that's
I
amazing when it happens.
I remember I had a conversation. So once I decided I wanted to move, but I loved the building, I wanted to stay in it. I went looking just down the hallways to the empty offices, and this space had been vacant for 5 years. And it's beautiful. It is. I just can't even begin to describe how beautiful it is, and also how good my work looks here. And also, like, I have a storage room where I can put every single painting I've made. I've never had a studio where I can fit all my work. I have 100 paintings at any one time, like sitting in the back waiting for people to buy and look. So I had the real estate agent give me a tour, and I was like, well, how much is how much is this? And he said, well, the base rent is $2,700 a month. And it's another $1,000 a month for management fees, all that stuff. And I just looked at him and said, I can't afford that. And he went, well, what can you afford? And I'm like, I can afford 1,200 a month plus 1,000. And I just was like, well, what the hell? I'm just going to tell him. And he goes, I'm going to make that happen.
Wow.
Talked to the owner, and the owner gave it to me for that amount. Because nobody's like renting spaces in office downtown Portland right now, not, sort of biggish office spaces, medium-sized office spaces, except for artists. We need that kind of space. And so he gave it to me. We had this kind of really, like, I would call it a half-ass negotiation. I was like 1,200. He was like 1,300. The owner said 1,300, and I was like 1,225, and he was like sold. So I can tell like he was like, I'd rather have somebody in that space than no one in that space. So I got it for less than half the base rent.
Wow, it's fantastic.
Yeah. And now I have a little extra office, which I rent to a really good friend of mine who's a private investigator.
Oh, cool.
We're very near, yes, not another artist, but a private investigator. And she's got this, she actually is also a collector, so she has a ton of my work, and got really excited when I was like, well, you can just go into the storage room and pick whatever paintings you want to put on the wall. So she's been like reorganizing and having a great time, and has already actually sold a couple paintings for me just by having clients in and having that stuff on the wall. It's really great. Yeah. And then she's kind of nipping into the rent a little bit. I'm charging her much less than she was paying for her last office. And also she's a friend, so it's like really fun to have her around.
That's really nice.
And also she has these hilarious, it's a little bit like being a journalist. Like they do a lot of interviewing of suspects and expert witnesses, and it's just fascinating to hear that job. Like it's a fascinating job. She had an attorney in the other day, and they were talking about to the like sort of lead expert on catalytic converters. And how people steal catalytic converters all the time.
Right.
Yeah, and they have a case, and I don't really know what the details of the case are, but they're looking for information on that whole legal and also illegal market. And it was just a hilarious conversation. It's a guy who lives in New Hampshire. They were just talking. It was really, really, I was like, this reminds me of what being a journalist was like back in the 90s. Yeah, lots of hilarious conversations with people on the phone trying to figure out what's going on. Probably still.
I'm going to stop here. It looks terrible, but I will show it to you quickly, not long.
Can I pop you up just to take a look?
Yeah,
Oh, I think it looks great.
No, it looks terrible, but
it's a good, it's
I'm
a
glad I
great
did it
beginning.
because
It's a great
because
beginning.
I need to get back into it.
And Sandra, if you're going to do it again, you might try it half the size. So it's still bigger.
It's too big.
It's too big. I think actually that's the real problem is you're so used to now working. That's why I was working so small. Look at my paper.
You were working small.
Yeah, partly because I can't really fit anything else, but also because
it's a small piece of paper. I started out with a smaller piece of paper, but then I thought, oh, I'm actually going to do it on this is the notebook on which I.
Yeah. So maybe, kid, I like your testing. I had a hilarious
Continue.
Here I'll show you very quickly. This is the so we do testing to kind of figure out how to blend our skies up. Little testing marks, wet, dry, and dry. Here's the final demo, which is fine. But I really love this.
Oh,
I know, that's what I really love. I love my testing sheet. I'm like, honestly, the testing sheet I could probably sell for several $100s if I framed it correctly. I just thought that was funny. That at the end of it, it was this that I liked the most. You never know.
I've been meaning to tell you, Leah, they have the most amazing skies here. The clouds,
Yes.
the clouds are like look so solid.
Mm.
And sometimes, and they're low on they're low. I don't. They look completely different from the other clouds. They're very colorful. Sometimes they're backlit. Usually they're kind of purple. I mean, the sunsets are always pink or, I mean, fiery orange. But the clouds are amazing. They look.
Wow. Send us some photos.
I'm terrible. I know, but photos don't do it justice.
Right.
But one time I did paint clouds. It was terrible, but I want to try to do that because they're so amazing. They look like completely different. I think in the northeast, the clouds are much higher. These are
Yes.
very low and so solid. Like you think
Fascinating.
they're made out of 3D material. I don't know.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, light is very different from place to place on the earth.
and
It's
it's
really
true.
changes.
I had read about it was actually my Californian father told me he had taken painting, and he told me that light in Europe was very different because we've got sand from the Sahara, and so it's a much more diffuse light. And I tell you, it's not it's true because actually it rains sand here,
Right. Wow.
which makes a
Hey,
mess.
you speak French, sorry, you speak Spanish, I assume, right?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
does everybody speak French there too? Because it's so
No,
close
only
to the
Spanish.
French border.
Spanish. They speak
Only Spanish.
Catalan and Spanish.
Oh, how's it going?
So
How's that going?
I understand Catalan, but I don't speak it. I only know 3 or 4 words, like thank you, goodbye. But they're because I'm a foreigner and they can hear that they're totally nice and speak Spanish to me.
Oh,
I mean, if they start in Catalan, I mean, I think once I had to say to somebody on the phone, like it was the vet actually, and I could only understand half of what she was saying. So I finally said, "Please, I mean, don't say something so important to me in Catalan that I'm going to miss." So they're really
fascinating.
nice. They're very, very nice.
And you like the people in your village? The village is nice.
So it's not really a village. It's kind of a village. Well, I tell you, it is like a medieval village, but I don't live in the medieval part. I live in the mountains. There's kind of residential part in the mountains. So it's like I'm surrounded by very green pine forests. And it's nice houses with pool. And what I like about that village is that it's, even in the summer when it's overrun by tourists, it's really well behaved people,
Right.
as opposed to
You mean older people?
no, as opposed to drunken
Partiers. Yes, I get it.
as there are like in some British communities down south. People who get drunk and I don't know, who just misbehave. I'm sure they're not all British. I think they're Germans as well. But there's none of that. There's none of that. There seems to be more.
Nice. These are people who are looking to relax. Grown ups.
Well, they're just, I don't know. They're just different kind of people. There's like, and I like that. I like that. It doesn't get trashy in the summer, despite being overrun by tourists. And the nice thing is that my part is not overrun by tourists, which is good because the cats, one of my brother's cats escaped all the time. She spent a time. I spent a lot of money raising the fences, and now a rabbit is getting through. But I live on a dead-end street. There's only 3 houses,
Right.
2 of which are barely occupied. So it's very safe. It's very safe for the cats.
Yes, as far as it can go, as far as you can go in that.
Yeah. So I made sure I didn't live near a freeway or something,
Yeah.
which I almost did. I mean, there was a house I really liked, and I looked at that road and I thought, oh, that's not a big road, right? And my brother said, "You giving up on your cats?" And I'm so glad he told me that because that road is like a motorway.
Right.
and in summer, and it would have been absolute disaster.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Not good for your little escape artists.
no, and even for me, I mean, it might have been noisy and busy, you know.
Yeah,
So
you landed well, Mahler. You did a good job.
I have to say, I was guided by the cats as well when I bought my house in Washington, and it benefited me so much. I bought a house because of them, otherwise I would have lived in a flat. And
Right.
it was so comfortable living in a house. And again, here, you know, I was guided by what made it safe for them, and it's totally to my
That's
benefit.
great.
And
That's
so,
fabulous. Let's see. Lenon, let's see. Oh, fabulous, Lenon. Like great. Um, do you see? And you know what? You can go even if you let it dry a little bit, you can go even darker on your dark areas. Let it dry. Fabulous. Do you feel, how do you feel?
I didn't leave enough white space still under
No, but it's
the front part
better.
of the
It's
eye.
much better. And if you make the pupil and the kind of dark Cleopatra part, eyeliner darker, so
Mhm.
let it dry and then go one layer darker, it will pop.
Mind me what colors we were using for that again? For the
Burnt
black?
umber and ultramarine blue. Ooh, MC. Ha! Wow. Fun. Oh my God, that's so great. It's good to do something twice, isn't it? I always
Yeah.
worry it's going to bore people, but I think let's go ahead and can you guys turn I'm going to remove the spotlight. Can you turn your cameras on and hold up your favorite eye? Just hold it up so we can see it. I'll hold up mine. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oops.
Fabulous. Really great. Really, really, really great. Yeah, so just you can push this one at edge darker, but wait till it dries so it won't bleed out in other places. Nice work, everybody. I feel like that's a nice. I've been really trying to slow roll us into like a full-on drawing and painting. Next week, I believe we are going to try one, and it might take us 2 sessions. Um, and we're going to do a dog, a kind of mostly black dog. So that would, that's going to require a little bit more, but I think just like kind of starting to get used to shapes, get what your watercolor brush is doing. I just find this to be a really easier way to do it. All right, everybody, I'm going to turn off the recording.